Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Tito, je fais des vidéos sur les finances personnelles sur mon autre chaîne, mais sur cette chaîne, je parle d'autres choses comme aujourd'hui où je vais revoir le film Silent Intruder.
When a sex therapist with an insatiable hunger for pleasure takes on a new client, he finds himself recklessly breaking the rules as he mixes business with pleasure. Silent Intruder is directed by Uyouyou Adia.
Now, first of all, this review will contain mild spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, maybe skip this review. The movie Silent Intruder is a thriller. The selling point, or how it's been marketed, at least to people like me anyways, that it's a film that Pere Egbi is in. You remember Pere from Big Brother Naija, and he executive produces the movie. And to be honest, I wasn't really keen on seeing the film. There was nothing about the film that really sparked my interest. I only saw it because a couple of people have said in my comment section that I should check it out and I should review it. And I've seen it, and here's the review. Let's begin with Les Performances.
Hey guys, what's up? Quick one, yeah? Please like this video by clicking on the like button and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button. Those things are actually very important to us YouTubers because it helps with engagement, and YouTube loves engagement because it's an indication that a video has value, and it helps to then push the video to more people and for the video to just generally perform better on the platform. So please like and subscribe, and feel free to share this video with anyone who you feel might enjoy it. Thanks so much. My arms are killing me because I'm raising my camera up right now. So let's dive back into the video.
Pere Egbi plays Zaki, a therapist who is also a narcissist, and that's a very toxic combination. What the guy does is that, he meets women, he gets into their minds, seduces them, and gets into their beds ultimately, and he's just not a nice guy. And Pere did a very good job, because if the objective was for us to not like this guy, then Pere pulled it off. His character arc was also very good. In the movie, he starts off as being very calculated, very level-headed, but as things progress, he's thrown a few curveballs. As much as he tries to manage those situations, he kind of finds himself losing control, and he just interprets that really well as he plays this character, Zaki. And the physical acting was good too, because there's a fight scene or two in the movie, and he also smashes a few things in the film. So yeah, that was also very believable, and his performance, I think, all round was quite good in this movie. Next, Uche Montana plays Catherine, and she's this married woman who is having intimacy issues with her husband, and they come in for counseling with Pere's character, and I'll say that Uche Montana was very committed to the role. You could tell that she was very committed to doing a good job, and I think I saw an interview that Pere gave, and he said that they had, I don't know if it's him or the casting director or the people behind the film, basically they had Uche Montana in mind to play this role, and when I watched the film, I understood why. She looked very attractive. Naturally, you want an attractive woman because of the plot of the film, but she just delivered really well in performing, or playing this character, Catherine. Kachi Nnochri plays Dave, I believe his name was. He's the husband of Uche Montana's character. The performance was okay. I think I found myself wishing that it was better, but at the same time, with thrillers, right, there are just so many questions that pop into your mind while you're watching a thriller, and that's natural, it's normal, because, for example, with a thriller, when you're watching a thriller and maybe the killer is nearby, you'd think that the victim would run in the opposite direction or call the police, but instead they do something stupid. So to bring it back to this film, there are just things that Kachi's character Dave did that didn't seem logical, but at the same time, such is the nature of thrillers sometimes. But I think I've never seen Kachi play this kind of character before, that's for sure, and I think he did a good job, but there are just places or points here and there where I wish he did a little bit better. Venita Akpofure plays Carrie, the best friend of Catherine, and she did a good job. I've never seen Venita play this kind of character before. Typically, I see Venita playing a very empowered woman, but in this film, Carrie had issues, I think, and you would think that she'd have her best friend or her friend's interests at heart, but at the end of the day, it seems like that wasn't the case with Carrie. I don't want to give away too much, but Venita did a good job. It was interesting to not hear her speak with her typical speaking accent. I think she dropped the accent. She spoke pidgin a few times in this movie. and it was just a different kind of Venita. There was room for improvement though, but regardless, it was a well-rounded character, and it was interesting to see Venita portray this character. Ce que j'ai aimé. I like that this film addressed a topical issue or two, primarily women who are unsatisfied in their marriage regarding intimacy. Yeah, there was that element or that theme, and then there was also the theme of men who have fragile egos and who aren't willing to discuss their issues in the bedroom with a third party. Because we hear about these things, we read about them, and so seeing it in this film made it different, it made it relatable, and it's just something that we tend to hear every now and then, and it was interesting to see it being played out in the movie in terms of the couple looking for a solution to their intimacy challenges, right? So I liked that. Speaking of intimacy, this film was quite sensual, right? It's a very steamy film. It's obviously not for anyone under the age of 18, but it's not X-rated, okay? And because of the nature of the film and the plot, I do understand why the sensual elements were there. Because sometimes they just put these sensual things and scenes of intimacy in these movies where they may not necessarily be needed. But in this film, I did see the relevance of those steamy scenes, right? And once again, I appreciate the fact that the scenes were not X-rated. I don't recall seeing side boob or a bare bum or, anything of that nature. But there were the motions and different kinds of, and moans and things like that will paint the sufficient images in your mind. So there was that, steamy but not X-rated. Tension. This film was very tense at certain points, and I really liked that. And, sometimes Nollywood films don't get tension or the build-up of tension well, but I think this film did it really well. I remember typing on my Insta stories, the tension is tensioning in this movie, right? So they did that well. The conflict was also there. The stakes were high enough for things to go the way they went, and for the controversy and for the conflict and the clashing to happen in this movie. So yes, there was also that. I also like that the characters in this film were diverse. They weren't one way, they weren't linear, right? With each of the main characters, and it's not a large cast, I think there's just like 4 or 5 main characters in this film. With each of them, there was more to them than meets the eye. What you saw with these characters was not necessarily what you'd get, yeah? And I think that helped with the tension, and it helped to make the experience and the movie all the more enjoyable. Oh yes, this movie was also bold in my opinion. They took some chances, they took some risks, they broke some things. They broke a computer in this film, they broke a flat screen TV, they broke a chandelier, and yeah, I think it helped to deliver, the movie and to give us that sense of tension and, conflict and all that in the film, and I appreciated that. So I felt like that needed to be mentioned as well. Ce que je n'ai pas aimé. The third and final act of this movie, I feel, could have been better written and better executed, because a couple of things just didn't really make sense, and I wish they did, But at the same time, such is the nature of thrillers sometimes, because characters in thrillers do some very unwise and illogical things that, while we are watching, we're shouting at the screen and saying, dude, don't do that, go here, don't go there, call someone, cry for help or something, but the characters do certain silly things. I mean, there's that, but also there's just some other things in this film that I feel like with a bit of better writing or more thought being given to those things, they could have played out a whole lot better. Yeah. But surprisingly, that was the only thing that I didn't like about this film. The acting from 1 or 2 actors in the movie could have been better, but it's minor. Yeah, but those are the only things I didn't like about this film. Qui devrait le voir? If you're into thrillers, particularly Nollywood thrillers, then I think you'll enjoy this movie, Silent Intruder. As far as Nollywood thrillers go, I think this is one of the better ones that I've seen in recent times. Also, if you like your movies with some steamy scenes and some kinkiness to them, then I think you'll really enjoy this movie, Silent Intruder. There are some very kinky things that happen in this movie that will that will have you feeling quite awkward. I know I felt a bit awkward in the cinema while watching some of those scenes. In conclusion, this movie is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It requires a bit of patience, and I also think that this movie will do very well when it gets on streaming because it's the kind of film that you enjoy more at home for some reason, maybe because of the intimacy and, it's less awkward watching this kind of film at home than in the cinema, but I do think it will do quite well when it gets on streaming. To give this film a rating, right? I've seen 3 Nollywood films in the cinemas thus far this year. This is the end of February. This was the best of the 3 that I've seen thus far in the cinema. So I will give Silent Intruder 3 jollofs out of 5. 3 over 5. Guys, if you enjoyed this review, please do me a favor and like it by clicking on the like button just underneath the video, and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button. On this channel, I do Nollywood movie reviews. Sometimes I talk about other things. I also have another channel where I have a podcast called the 30-Minute Podcast. To check out the podcast or some of my past Nollywood reviews, you can click the card in the corner of the screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have an unboxing that I'm going to do very soon. I think that will be on my IG. Let me get the box and show it to you guys. So if it's something that you might be interested in, you can go and follow me on Instagram. Give me a second. Okay, so I went, wow, it's so heavy. I went for a lifestyle brunch with Chivita and Hollandia yesterday. It's such a big box. And it's not just juice that's in this box. There's also other things, and I'm going to unbox it. Wow. I'm going to film an unboxing after doing this review. So check out that unboxing. It will be on my Instagram. If you go and see Silent Intruder, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Thanks for the final time, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.